So when we're thinking about assessment in project-based learning, it looks different than what it would in a more traditional setting. There is a lot of front planning that needs to happen before we walk into a project-based learning setting. It requires the teachers to have extensive knowledge of their curriculum in their grade level. So I'm wanting to set myself up in such a way that the course of the project is going to be very flexible, but moving into it, I'm fairly confident on what expectations that I will be meeting as I travel through this journey with my students. And during it, it's going to take a life of its own. That's what project-based learning does. It's going to take its own path. And I need to be prepared to jump on that path and still have enough knowledge behind me that I'm going to be able to still bring the learning out of the students and still meet those expectations. And this is where small group work, observations and conversations play such a huge role in this type of a classroom. It's extremely important that you are taking time to stop and reflect at the end of every day. So if you think about a traditional setting, we used to take home a whole bunch of marking that we would sit for a good hour and mark. That's not going to happen in a project-based learning setting nearly as much. So thinking about that time that you would have spent marking, let's start using that time to make some anecdotal notes. Let's take that time to reflect. Let's take that time to look back on the expectations we were hoping to be meeting and reflect on that and start to document some of the learning that's been taking place.